If you've ever got up in the middle of the night and tried to make your way through a darkened room only to hit your foot or stumble, you kind of kick yourself and say, you should have turned on the light. Hi, the Spirit Fills with 10-Minute Torah, Day 5 of Emor, Speak Gently. And a couple of things to mention to you before we get into Vayikra or Leviticus chapter number 24 and the first 4 verses. While you turn there, first of all, next week I will be with Laura on vacation. And so there will not be a creating of new videos for next week. What I will do, however, is dip down into the vault of the archives. There are 4 years of previous recordings for the Torah portions. We're now working on year 5 of 10-Minute Torah. So I will go back and do a best of selection. Thanks, Leanne, for the idea. And be posting those. So you may see a little different setting, a little different presentation, but hopefully they will be meaningful for you. And so you'll have something to view next week, but it'll be a best of or selection from previous years. So yeah, we need a little time off, and thankfully the Father has supplied that. So prayers for our rest and relaxation are appreciated. The other thing is, I normally wait until the end of day 5 to say Shabbat Shalom. I want to change it up today and not feel so rushed at the end. I mentioned Shabbat yesterday in the recording, that it is foundational for the feast days. It's a day of entering into his rest. Questions arise sometimes about, well, how are we supposed to observe Shabbat? We're not given any details about what we're supposed to do necessarily, but what we are to refrain from. It's not a day that we work. It's not a day that is common. More than the observance of counting hours from sundown to sundown, Friday night to Saturday night, it's more about a realm or a place or a sphere, a presence that you would step into. So don't get caught up necessarily in the mechanics of whether what you should have for your meal, or whether you should light candles, or whether you should do a variety of things that people might suggest. Connect with the Most High. Make place for Him. Listen. Take some time to rest. Be refreshed. Be at ease and count everything as done and completed. Don't worry about cleaning the house and washing dishes that pile up in the sink and so forth. There'll be time for that. Just breathe and take some time. And may the King, our King, Yeshua, dwell with you as you do so. So, Shabbat Shalom. Now, chapter 24, Vayikra, Leviticus, verse 1 says, And Yahweh spoke to Moshe, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring to you clear oil of pressed olives for the light, to make the lamps burn continually. Outside the veil of the witness in the tent of appointment, Aaron is to arrange it from evening until morning before Yahweh continually, a law forever throughout your generations. He is to arrange the lamps on the clean gold, or here lampstand or menorah, before Yahweh continually. It is the command of Yah that Israel supply, the sons of Israel, supply this fat oil of clear pressed olives for the purpose of brightness in his house. Says to us then that there is a role that we play, and seeing the light of Yah dwell in our midst. Again, Yeshua even said, you guys, you are the light of the world, and you're not to hide your light. Well, that says a couple things to us. Number one, it says to us that we need to be freshly supplied with clear but fat olive oil. The oil of the Spirit. You need fullness of the Spirit. If we're not full of the Spirit, we're going to be full of something else, the flesh. We must allow a refreshing of the Ruach HaKodesh to come upon us and to refresh us and to fill us again, so that we have the potential to be light. The second thing we're going to need is some fire, a little passion, some vigor, some sparks, some energy, some drive and some momentum, some gifting of Yah, fire down from above and burn this oil and set me on fire. Let me illuminate and shine where you place me. The third thing is we can't hide that light. We are supposed to exhibit that light. We are supposed to thrust the light of Yeshua out into the darkness. Now, we're not to go and blind people with a large beam in their eyeballs, as we have done in the past. Let's hold up the light in the midst of the darkness, that those who see it and desire it can come to it. And those who don't and prefer the darkness, they're going to turn away and they're going to walk away. So the light of Yeshua, it can be a dividing factor. It can separate you from people that you thought, well, I just always figured we'd be together. If they prefer darkness and you prefer the light, there could be a separation. Just keep that in mind. Let's also understand this, that it is at the time of the evening sacrifice. This is at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. This is the time where Yeshua on the tree said, "It is finished." And he created then by his death the opportunity for the bringing of the Ruach HaKodesh. He said, if I go back to the Father, he had to die first for that to happen, die, be resurrected, ascend. His death was the initiation of that process. He will send to you another Redeemer like myself. Paraclete from the Greek is actually in Aramaic a word that says another Redeemer, one who redeems us from the curse of the law by applying the word to our hearts, the Torah to our hearts. We taught that before. And so it is interesting then that as Aaron is in the set-apart place, he is refilling the oil that Israel has supplied. He is attending to the wicks that are there. If they need to be replaced, he replaces those, he trims them, and then the menorah is lit. This is at the same point in time that he puts bread on the table and that he puts incense. So the word, the spirit, the anointing, the fire, and intercession, they all work together. Isn't that something? But here's a key point I want to make today, and that is that the lamps then are situated to burn through the hours of darkness, through the night. In the days where Yeshua is absent from us, since the time of his ascension to the time of his return, metaphorically, figuratively speaking, we are in a time of darkness because we're missing the physical manifestation of his light here bodily. Therefore, it is the work of the Ruach HaKodesh that enables us to be illuminated. The word here for light in verse 2 is or. When you add a mem to that, ma'or, it means illumination. It is the idea then that the Ruach has come to illuminate us and to guide us through the darkness. The day of Messiah, evening and morning were the first day. The day of Messiah begins in darkness. But if we have the Spirit's light, the Ruach HaKodesh's light, we will know how to walk through the darkness without stumbling and hurting ourselves. So don't forget, turn on the light. Shabbat Shalom and I'll see you again next week.